Oh my God, friends, so funny, so funny. I will be honest with you. Even though I have it like written down, okay, technically it was written down on a page. I am so sorry. I forgot. I said I would do a TikTok live at 11. I was in the groove. I had somebody reschedule, and I was puttering around and doing some cool stuff. So give me a sec. I got to change my glasses, shut the door, shift gears, but I'm here, okay?
It's a snow day. So
It's a snow day. Yeah, that's it. Hey, could you shut my door, please? Thank you. Oh, too funny. Too freaking funny. Well, you know this is live and not Memorex, and thank you very much for Oceanana. Oceanana. Everybody can thank Oceanana, Louise, because I totally would have forgotten. So funny. So funny. Oh, thank you, Fairy Mob Mother. Literally, I just, yeah, you know what? I have a guy who gives me a really good haircut, so thank you so much. Boy, you know what? Here's a wonderful thing. Here's a wonderful thing. I am human. I wrote something down. I said I was going to do it. I did all the things that I coach people on about getting stuff done. And yet, sometimes things do slip your mind. So what I'm doing, can you tell already? I'm laughing at myself. I'm having fun with it. I'm forgiving myself about what I did. I'm forgiving my trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us, right? Yeah, you guys, mea culpa, mea culpa. I was just puttering around getting some good stuff done. And yeah, as my husband just said, we basically do have a snow day today here in PA. Now please, so I will be here. I swear, I will be here for even longer. That's what I'll do. Is I will do an extended TikTok live. I will make up for lost time. Okay. So here's the funny thing. German Maid wants the snow. This is like, I feel like I'm just gonna go look out the window. Okay, hold on. Well, you know what? It looks nice. It looks nice. It covers up all the dirt, but it is very baby. It's like baby snow. The thing that cracks me up about it is that I'm from New England. And I cannot tell you how many things closed down last night here in Pennsylvania without a flake having fallen. It is pretty, Barbara Dean. Totally, 100%. It's wicked pretty. But I just kind of laugh like, oh, you people. Back in my day, I would have to drive, blizzard of 78. But there we go. User 6242. I didn't even see your message, and I apologize. I did literally just get on. What can I say? I had it written down, so I did all the things. You guys, this is going to happen to you too. I bet it already has in certain places. You write it, you say you're going to do something, you write it down, you schedule it, you put it on your calendar, you tell people. But this is what happened, is I got a little bit off of my schedule. And I also realized too that I still had yesterday's things to do on my schedule in front of me. If I had looked at, like this was my yesterday, I got a lot of good stuff done, but I didn't open up my book until just now. I didn't turn the page. And then also, and I'm just, look at what I'm doing too. I love it. Yeah, Shannon Retrograde says, that's life. That's what people say. You're riding high in April, shut down in May. In my head, this is the thing. In my head, when I had my client reschedule and I was getting stuff done, it immediately said, oh, I don't have anything to do until 1 o'clock. My head was wrong. Your head is going to be wrong sometime too. But you know what? Here we are. We're going to make the most of it. So I will stay on even later. And how can I help you? So in case we haven't met before, if we haven't met before, this is a wonderful introduction to me, Beth, Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach, because yeah, I'm a human. I am not AI generated. Can you imagine AI generating this? Huh? And I help you with your clutter, and I help you get stuff done. But this is one of the lessons right here, is you're going to mess up at some point in your life. Perfection is unattainable. And if it's even if it's attainable, And I love myself a good rhyme, so listen to me. Even if it's attainable, it's not sustainable. Yes, and thank you so much for being worried. Yeah, you know what? I apologize. I never want to have people worry about me. It's kind of like when I text my mother and she doesn't get back to me, and I'm worrying. Did the cats trip her and she stumbled down the big staircase at the house, because she lives in an old colonial type house. And then she's like, "Oh, guess what? I didn't have my ringer on and I put my newspaper over my phone and then I couldn't find it." So nothing is wrong, but thank you. We can all go, here we go. And yes, complete shout out to Louise, who I met with earlier today, who was like, "Hey, I can't find it." So here we are. There we go. Now, this is interesting. Rach, no, my dad passed away. My mom is still alive. And she probably will be for decades, God willing. Yeah, crazy. Oh, there we go. No work, so doing decluttering. I love Blonde Cheryl. Yes, notice how Mondays through Fridays feel different than weekends. Notice, at least those of us who live in kind of those 4 seasons in one day type of places, a snow day, even if it does not affect what you do, like it doesn't matter to me that they canceled school here in PA. It doesn't matter to me, like it doesn't affect me, and yet somewhere in my head, I'm like a little kid, and I'm like, it's a snow day. I'm going to putter around and get some stuff done. But a snow day is a wonderful day to, I don't know, play with your toys. I almost said tackle declutter, but we don't tackle declutter here. We have fun with it. Mel Zag is saying, "I am tackling my pantry." Well, don't beat it up. Your pantry does a great job of providing you with more than you need. There were 72 paper bags in the back corner. You know what's cool about those paper bags? You can probably fill a bunch of them with things that you're donating to places, okay? You're going to crack up at yourself. Please have a sense of humor about life and yourself. You are going to mess up. You are going to forget that you said you would do a TikTok live, even if you wrote it everywhere. You put it on the internet, you told people, but it was as simple as not looking down, not looking at my schedule. It was relying on my brain instead of what I wrote down. Now, my brain was doing good stuff. Kind of like Mel. Mel, that rocks. I filled 12 bags so far with food for the food bank. So awesome. Yes, and Ivy says it's not clutter. You're so true. It is abundance of things you are going to share. Yeah, Mel is doing it already. She's using her abundance of bags that she found in the pantry. And she is sharing her abundance of food. And she's now able to use these bags too. Now I love it. Rochelle says, that happened to me yesterday at the declutter party. Yeah, wasn't that fun? God, I had so much fun yesterday. All these declutter parties are really where it's at. I got 2 turntables and a microphone. Yeah. Picking a day and a time to declutter. Showing up when you say you're going to, keeping a promise to yourself, and then meeting other people who did the same thing. There's nothing like that kind of community spirit to help you focus and get stuff done. I actually had, and this is the wonderful thing I will share with you, and maybe other people who are at the the Zoom decluttering parties this weekend might have felt the same way, is I felt a lovely residual effect. It wasn't just me getting stuff done during that hour and a half to 2 hours we were together. That had a wonderful ripple effect to the rest of my day, so much so that I just booked 2 little kind of weekendy things away because I had some free hotel vouchers that I wanted to use before they expired. Now, T-Braze21 is saying, I need to hire someone to do my decluttering for me. Oh, there are people out there who will help you with it. But T-Braze, I hate to break it to you, but here's the deal. You hire somebody. I have been hired. I have gone to people's houses. I do not do that anymore. I coach people one-on-one via Zoom. So I get to help people all over the country. And it's so funny. I'm used to looking at my map of the U.S. to look at all the smiley faces for my people, but I just put up a big old map. So I'm going to have to put another one. I have people all over the place. Wait, where is it? There we go. There's a map of the U.S. What I will offer to you, though, for you and everybody, another person cannot help you. You are, they can help you move things. You are the one who's going to declutter, really, because decluttering is decision making. So you will need to decide, what is this? Do I want it or not? If I want it, where does it go? Where I can easily find it. If I don't want it, where does it go that I can easily share it? Okay? So there are people out there, NAPO, Google it, National Association of Professional Organizers, and it's something, whatever. There are people you can hire to do that. But you will need to be an active participant in it, because they won't know what to do with your stuff. To them, your stuff is just stuff. To you, your stuff tells you stories. Okay? I just want to let you down gently. Okay. Debbie says, brought 6 winter coats and about 50 microfleece shirts to a lady collecting for homeless people. What a cool thing. How cool are you? Notice, especially this time of year when we are all many of us live where it's cold. I don't like to be cold. I have in a little donation bag ready to go, a hat that a friend of mine gave me that I look like a dork in, a scarf that I bought that I don't really use, and a pair of gloves because I have enough pairs of gloves. I'm going to donate that because I don't like to be cold. And my little bit that I can donate can help somebody else have a hat, scarf, and gloves. So it feels good. It feels good. Yeah. Yeah, and they don't, again, Rachel says they don't know what you want to keep. Yeah. Yes, you can. I will share this with you, though. Okay? You are the one making the decisions, but having somebody hanging out with you to be like a second set of hands or to bounce ideas off of. This is what we did this weekend. We had a decluttering party on Saturday and a decluttering party on Sunday. Actually, not so much, but that kind of communal spirit that you're not doing it alone and you're not just hearing your own thoughts, beating yourself up about why am I so cluttered, you know? So I do say that there can be benefits to having somebody helping you, but ultimately the decision is yours. Okay? Yeah, you got to do it myself gig, but coaching, and yeah, Sue, spot on, because you were there. This is a got to do myself gig, but coaching and community here is a game changer. 100%. So that's what I mean. I apologize. I'm not like, oh, you have to do it all alone. No, we work better together forever. Okay. Now, T-Braze, notice this, and this helped a client yesterday, so I'll share this with you too, saying those decisions are exhausting. They will empty your gas tank. Deciding things, there's a finite amount, a daily finite amount of decision-making energy in your brain and in your body, okay? Think about it this way. Think about you are a car, and your gas tank has enough gas in it to allow you to make certain decisions. Now, couple of interesting things about decision making. Some decisions are easier than others, so they don't take as much gas. Other decisions can be big and heavy, and the longer it takes you to think of them, that's when you are using more gas, okay? When you say those decisions are exhausting, yes, they will lower the amount of gas in your tank, but this is what I say to you, is keep an eye on your gas tank. Keep an eye on your gas gauge. Do not allow yourself to get anywhere under a quarter of a tank. When you start to feel like your decision making is becoming more difficult and it's a little bit tiring and I'm getting a headache, stop. Hammer time. Okay? Stop. In the name of love. Congratulate yourself on the decisions you made and tidy up what you did. I did that yesterday. I'm going to do some more videos about going through family photos and things like that today. But at a certain point, I was like, I am done. I am just beat. But I did not allow myself to get too empty. You wouldn't do it in your car. Don't do it to your body. Okay? Now, T-Braze, also, I need help with the where does it go if I'm going to keep it. I love that you're already identifying where your process is not currently working for you. Here's what I offer to you, everybody, because I have been a professional organizer a professional declutterer for a while, decluttering life coach, but I worked for decades in visual merchandising. And what I offer to you is easy. Where does it go? The answer will be somewhere easy for me to remember that that's where it lives. Easy for me to access the things that I frequently use. And easy for me to know about the things that I don't often use, but I know where they are if I need them. So the things that you use on a daily basis, keep them closer to you. The things you use on a yearly basis, keep them further away, and think of those kind of concentric rings. I think about this because we are literally now taking down some of our Christmas ornaments. Our Christmas stuff goes way in the back corner of the basement because we only use it like 1 month out of the year. I don't have it right in my face. But man, would I be out of luck if I didn't have my Brita filter pour thingy, because I use that every day. So think about ease of getting it to make it easy for you to use it. Okay? I love it. Mel says, I just went on vacation, donated the dresses I didn't feel to pack. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so T-Brace, again, and I'm kind of catching up on things. I know I'm a little tardy to the party in many things. So if you think that having somebody else, well, not somebody else in charge, yeah, and if you work better, the good news is there are people you can pay to help you with that. There are professionals who will come and assist you with that, so no worries. I am the kind of person that helps people over the internet if you don't want to have somebody coming in your house, okay? And notice overwhelm. We may not notice overwhelm creeping up on us, but when we realize it, this first thing we should do is notice it and put halt. Who goes there? Overwhelm? No more. None shall pass. Okay? Don't allow your overwhelm to get extremely overwhelming. Shut it down as soon as you realize you're getting overwhelmed, and you know the feeling. I know the feeling. As soon as you get an inkling of overwhelm, nip it in the bud. Okay? Body doubling, K-dubs, you know it. That's what we were doing. I will offer this to you guys. This is not meant to be an infomercial, but there's some info and there's some commercial. Okay? So my name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. And my coaching here, when I show up on my TikTok lives, literally, you guys, I will share with you. This is the first time in like almost 2 years of doing TikTok lives that I oopsed and I signed in late. Thank you, Louise, for reminding me. Okay? What I want to offer to you is one of the things we did this last weekend, which was wicked fun, and I'm doing it this weekend, is we did a decluttering party. What is that? I'll tell you. It is showing up on a certain day at a certain time. Saturday, noontime Eastern. Sunday, noontime Eastern. For an hour and a half. Within that hour and a half, you get 1 solid hour of decluttering on your own, but you're decluttering with everybody else because we sign up on Zoom. We all meet, we're like looking at each other, okay, you're doing your thing, I'm doing my thing, and you feel that sense of community. It's kind of magical that even though we're not there is a connection that the internet provides. If body doubling, my ADHD folks, that's the thing. If that sounds of interest to you, please make sure you're on my mailing list. It is a free mailing list. I don't know why everybody isn't on it, but I trust that you're making the decisions that feel good for you. But if it's a free mailing list at destinationdecluttered.com. You go to my website, scroll to the bottom of the homepage, add your email address, promise you're not a robot, and you're in. And the neat thing is that there is a ticket price associated with these parties. It is minimal. It's like $20. And 50% of that is going to a local women's shelter. We already have raised over $300 this month to donate to the local homeless shelter for women in my town. Okay? So I know there's a lot of stuff there. Okay? So I just want to mention that. All right? Here, you know what, Penny Luck, everybody, just so you know, and I'll probably repeat it a couple more times. I goofed. I did. I had a client reschedule. I actually told her she should go take care of herself and reschedule, so hopefully she's sleeping and taking some cold medicine. And that threw my schedule off, and I did not look at my schedule after my brain, I relied on, I'm just reviewing what happened, because this may happen to you. I relied on the schedule in my head, but I didn't cross-reference it with the one that I have written down right in front of me. I didn't do that because I still had yesterday's schedule on my thing. Now I see, oh yeah, I was supposed to sign on at 11. Oops. I got an email from a client who said, I can't find you. And I was like, oh, that's right. And I immediately rectified it and I just showed up. So yeah, so do not worry, people. I appreciate everybody signing on when you were supposed to. You did your part. Oops. Sometimes we screw up. Hey, Victoria, nice to see you. And Erin, you were on the decluttering parties. Victoria saying, or Vicky, rather, I always say Victoria. The decluttering parties are great. Great camaraderie and timed decluttering sessions. Kat Roby, I love that you already did your scheduled Beth Blinders without me there. That's like practicing without the teacher there. That means this is getting ingrained in you. You know? All right. So there we go. So Kat does this thing, which I love, and I like to repeat it because it's so good. Kat shows up when I show up. She showed up even for herself even when I didn't. And she calls it her scheduled Beth Blinders, her SBB. She then makes a list of things that she wants to do in the time that I'm on the Destination Decluttered TikTok. So Kat then posts it. She writes it down and she shares it to kind of create a connection. So she says, hey, yo, SBB, clear projects on top shelf, 1. 2, put away airbeds. 3, tidy office. I love it. Nana Joe has 4 bags ready to go out the door. I love it. Yeah. No, T. Braze, I like to support some local small businesses too. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. I like to do that too. We aren't talking about never shopping again or having a house empty. I'm talking about quality, not quantity. Okay? All right. Yep, and we do it on Zoom. Rach, okay. Here we go. I'm backing up. Okay. AK, I have held on to things. I have held on to things which I may use, can't afford to repurchase, but really don't have the space. Okay. So many of us say, I'm going to use that someday. Pay attention to that. What are some things that you said to yourself last year that you were going to use that you haven't used? Right now, I can think of probably like our George Foreman grill. We got it as a wedding gift 20 plus years ago. We maybe use it once a year. Okay? So just notice what you say you're going to use and then make a plan to use it. There's a reason you're not using it. See, here's the interesting thing. When you say, I'm going to do that someday, but then you don't do it, there is a disconnect there. There's something there that is stopping you from doing what you said you were going to do. So let's find out what that is, okay? Now, Rochelle says, I have 3 boxes ready to donate, but I'm snowed in. Yeah, I wish I was snowed in. I feel like a snow day. I am totally on snow day vibes. I don't care how old I will be. Maybe you're the same way. I am in my late 50s, but when there's snow and there's a snow day, I am farting around in my pajamas. I want to watch cartoons. I want to, it's a vibe, the snow day vibe, and that's what got to me earlier. But here's the fun thing. I'm going to keep an eye on my schedule over here because I want to make sure I show up for the people that I'm supposed to show up for. However, I will be here for this full hour, so I'm showing up for even more because I didn't show up at 11. It's now 12 Eastern. My name is Beth, Decluttering Life Coach, Destination Decluttered, here on TikTok for as long as TikTok is here, but also on the internets. Okay, I will show up. I will be here until for the next hour or so. Yeah. AK says, life gets busy. You always think you have the time, but then you don't. Time keeps on slipping, slipping, slipping into the future. Getting control over your time is amazing. It is. Notice, I think I have the time. Yeah, I thought I didn't have to do anything until 1 o'clock Eastern today. And then I looked at my daily schedule, which reminds me what time I have and what time I don't. And then I was like, oh, I do have some time, and then I don't have some time. Okay? Yeah, Laura Gibbon Voorhees, I appreciate, you know what, and I didn't mean to make you all worry. It was an honest mistake. It was a human mistake. I got distracted and my brain told me, I'll be honest with you, when I rescheduled my 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock client, I forgot to look at my schedule. My brain said, oh, you don't have anything to do till 1 o'clock. You've got a whole bunch of hours to do things. And I trusted my brain. Now, I love my brain. Do not get me wrong. You should love your brain too. It does awesome things. But sometimes I just need to cross-reference it with what my body did, which was to write down the schedule. Okay? So, yes. Oh, you know what? You guys, and oh, Erin, that would have been sweet if you texted me. But you know what? I wouldn't be able to share my humanity then. And I would have been. So, yes. Oceanana, this is it. Let's all applaud Oceanana because, Louise, it was your email that prompted me to say, oh my God, that's right. I was supposed to do a TikTok live. Notice what I'm doing. I made a mistake and I'm having fun with it. I am laughing it off. You know? I am laughing it off. You, my dear, you are going to make mistakes. Okay? You have made mistakes in the past. You may make mistakes today, like me. Got that out of the way. And you will make mistakes in the future. The more you can get comfortable with your humanity, your fact that you're going to goof up, the easier it becomes when you do it, because it's not like, oh my God, I made this giant mistake. I mean, technically, over 3,000 people knew that I was going to be online today. Oh well. I apologize. I move on. It wasn't intentional. Okay? Kit Kat So Cool is asking, do I need to keep credit card statements and bank statements? You know what? So I don't think you do, but I keep mine sometimes. So ask yourself, when you are keeping something, ask yourself why you are keeping it. So why are you keeping, even bank statements? Why am I keeping my bank statements? Yes. Why am I keeping this? I'm keeping it because that's how I was taught back in the 70s and 80s. Well, now it's 2025. Do I still need that paper to prove that? Now, I will share with you. I have many things that are online like nobody's business, but I like to get my credit card statements on paper. I get them in the mail. I take my little ruler, I open them up and I go and I go down to make sure everything's okay. I can do that online too. For my brain, it's different. It's different on paper. So I do that. No big deal. Okay? So get curious about it. And here's a fun thing too. I actually saw this from somebody else who does decluttering here on TikTok, so props to other lady with short hair and glasses who does the decluttering. Check with your bank. Ask your bank, do I need to keep these? Can you shred these for me? Can I find this information some other way? Same thing with your credit cards. But you are ultimately the one who makes the decision. And the decision, they could tell you, oh yeah, you don't need to do that. You can do it online. But if it feels better to you to keep it, then keep it. But own that that's what you do. Okay? Well, here's funny. So Gina, thank you. The Genie. Us worrying about you is a sign of you always being on time. That's a good thing. Yes, it is so freaking unusual for me to not keep my promise of being on time. I know what it's like when people are late and not keep their promises, so I endeavor to be a person who is on time and keeps my promises. But I screwed up, you know? And then Cat Mama's laughing, well, I made a mistake because I thought you were on at 12, you know? Yeah, it's all good. Here I am. Yeah. No, I love it. Kara is saying 3 bags for the dump. The dump. 3 bags for savers, but first, get a tooth checked. Tooth canal on Saturday is not going well. Oh, please. Okay? Please, people. Before anything else, before the clutter, take care of yourself. Not just yourself, one word. Yourself. That's your physical body and your mental brain and your nervous system. If you are not feeling good, and Oceanana, you know we were talking about this morning, the very first step is to make sure you're feeling okay. Because when you feel okay, you will do okay. When you feel better than you did, you will do better. But when you're not feeling good, you're not going to do good. And again, when you nip it in the bud, so notice, when you notice something not right, the sooner you nip it in the bud, there's a bud, I'm nipping it. I'm saying, whoa, this isn't right. Like right now, I feel like I'm getting a headache coming on. It's fine, I get them all the time. But what I'll do is after this TikTok, I may go pop a headache pill because I don't want it to get any bigger. Root canal on Saturday did not go well. Check in with your dentist. So yes, please, everybody here, take care of yourself. And if you don't think you have time, I will just offer to you that the time you have is best spent taking care of yourself. Okay? And I mean this in a decluttering way too. Is because when you feel better, it makes decluttering easier. When you have a full think about it. Think about the difference between showing up to declutter, thinking of it as a chore that you're going to tackle, and you're not excited about it, and it's going to be painful, and you hate doing this, and I'm exhausted already, and I feel cranky, and I'm starving. How does that feel? Setting up to declutter when you feel like that? Ugh. On the other hand, on the flip side, okay, decluttering. Oh, you know what? I feel good. I feel quasi well rested. I had something healthy-esque for breakfast. I drank some water. I then peed because I drank some water. I'm in comfortable clothes. I really want to tidy up this stuff. I'm so excited to see how nice and clean this surface looks. I'm going to make it fun. I'm going to put on some music. I'm going to dance around. Okay? Notice the difference. It's the same action. It's the same action, but with a different vibe behind it. Okay? Yeah. Now, Linda Moser here. Mammogram tomorrow. Rock on, lady. Everybody here, schedule your mammograms. Your mams will thank you. I always call it ma'am, like M-A''A''M, and then when I go to write it and type it the right way to spell it, I don't. Getting psyched up. Now, oh boy, I'm getting a mammogram. How about, I would say, if anything, just be like, yep, showing up, getting it over with, and I'm done. You know? But good on you. Good on you. Yeah, my mams. Yeah, there we go. I got my mams done in November too. This should be something on your list, okay? I know I'm talking about decluttering, but decluttering, hear me out here. Decluttering your schedule of stuff that doesn't matter to make sure you have time for what's important to you. And if you do not have your physical health and your mental health, you don't have everything else is going to suffer, okay? So I say to you right now, we can be talking about surface clutter and stored clutter and sentimental clutter all over the place. But really, decluttering also has to do with your time. Okay? How you are spending your time. And please check your health sooner rather than later. Remember I talked about nipping it in the bud? The sooner you notice something, just to also make sure something's okay. Liz says, what age do you think we do mams? Mom had breast cancer past 2 years. No BRCA gene. I'll be honest with you. One of the main things I want in my life and why I do so many things is because I want this lovely feeling called peace of mind. And the funny thing is they say peace of mind. When I say that, my head kind of relaxes. But right here, peace of mind. So I get myself checked for stuff. I'm not like over checking myself, but I get a mammogram on a yearly basis. I get a mammogram on a yearly basis because I have a friend who postponed getting one, and she got breast cancer and she passed away about a year ago. In a couple of weeks, it'll be a year. She was my age. So I want peace of mind as best as I can get it. Okay? So make time. Take time from something else to give it to yourself, to take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Okay? Now, Solitaire is saying, I feel guilty. Notice the feeling of guilty. If I had a line drawn down the middle here, right? Guilt is on the unhelpful side. The backseat driver, the fear, the guilt, the shame, the judgment, the crappy feelings. I feel guilty telling my kids no. And they have a lot of things that take up my time. This is when good boundaries, good fences make good neighbors. I think good fences make good families too. I do. Now, I don't have kids. I will share with you. But notice when you say yes to your kids all the time, you don't get them comfortable with hearing no. The world will tell your kids no at some point. When you are comfortable with having heard no and being able to process that and deal with it and not take it personally, that is a life skill, okay? So I think it's really important. Now, I know in my family there's different stories about what it means to focus on yourself and focus on other people. I like to look at it this way, so maybe this will help you. I think it is important for all the moms to have time for themselves, and also if they want kids to take care of their kids. I just want to share that it doesn't have to be an either or. It can be a yes and. Okay? You can say to your kids, no, we're not going to do that now. We're going to do this, and later we will do something you want. Okay? Yes. I love it. And Kara is spot on. She says, it's a muscle you have to practice using, saying no. And here's the thing that helps me. I say this to myself sometimes about like the universe. The answer's not no. It's just not now. Ooh, that's a good one. Write that one down. The answer isn't no. Like no, we're not going to do that. Why not? Well, I don't have the time now. Well, do you have the time later? Can we do it later? So when you hear no, when you're saying no, it may just be no for now. You're just saying, no, not now. It's going to happen later. We'll do that later. And let's schedule it. Let's schedule a time. Let's make it fun to go through the McDonald's drive-thru and get Shamrock Shakes or, McRibs. Oh, my husband wants to get one. Okay? No is not a bad thing. No is part of life because it's the opposite of yes. It's going to happen. The more you're okay with that and you don't internalize it and take it personally, the easier you can go through life. And that is a life skill that you can teach the people that you care about. Okay? So, there we go. Colonoscopies, also, please, people, get them taken care of. I got one last month. The prep was easier than it was before. I was dreading it, and it wasn't as bad. But please get yourself checked out sooner rather than later. Yeah, Cat Mama has a story about that, you know? Oh, yeah, and I'm not laughing. I apologize, Cat Mama. I was laughing at Kara forgetting the age of her children. You know why? Because we don't realize our brains think it's freaking 2000, right? I am boggled. My mind is boggled at the fact that my husband and I keep on saying, it was 20 years ago today. It was 20 years ago this season that we moved into this house. This means I have lived in this house longer than I lived in my parents' house. And that's me relying on my brain. But when I look at my calendars and I look at what I've done and the year before, oh yeah, all that stuff happened. Time is such a weird thing, and so are our brains. Okay? So what I offer to you, though, in all seriousness, is our brains tell us we have all the time in the world. We don't. We have from today until our arbitrary death day. Notice when we are taking care of our health, we want to extend. We want to live as long as we can in a healthy body. So that's why we take care of things now. Same thing with decluttering. For you to live in a home that feels good, that functions well, that looks good. I mean, isn't that what we want for our this body right here? This house, the house for our stuff. We want it to look good. We want it to function well, and we want to feel good in it. Same thing with your house. Your body is the house for your soul and your innards, and your house is the next layer out. You know? And yeah, this is cool. Yeah, so Erin is saying, great topic. I've been in my house for 24 years, and I'm not sure why some stuff is still here. I love that category that you just created. Stuff that why is this still here category? And if the answer is, I don't know, oh my God, you could mine that for something deeper, but still, anything that makes it easy for you to release stuff that you don't want, do it. It is mind-blowing to me how quickly time passes. I don't feel any different than I did. Well, except for at night and maybe some creakiness, but you know what I mean, because we're all aging. My soul is ageless. My body is aging. So I say to you, set up your home so you feel good in it for as long as possible. Get rid of what doesn't matter to you. Keep what matters to you and put it somewhere where it's easy for you to get. Okay? Susan ASL says, same thing at 62. Yeah. When I'm 64, I freaking remember when my dad was 64. He didn't know it at the time, but he did not even live another 10 years. Okay? Okay, so Erin says, I asked my dad to reorganize the top bench. I love that you got help. I love that you got help with something you didn't particularly want to do. He didn't throw out a lot, but I don't know what the rest is. So ask your dad. Oh, the tool bench, right. Ask him, what is this stuff? But the funny thing is, here's the thing. I love this. Erin, you know what you use in that house. I use very few tools because I can pawn off a lot of that stuff on my husband. But still, it's like I use a hammer, I use nails, I use a screwdriver, I use some pliers. Thereabouts. If you don't know what it is, ask your dad. He may know what it is and think you may need it someday. So maybe what you do is you take all the stuff that you don't know what it is and you put it in a container. You also containerize the things that you use and you use often. Now this is funny because I remember hearing once there was this guy who was doing a decluttering thing like on Facebook, and he was adamant that you should only have one home for things. And I was like, nope. Because we have a big tool chest of tools we use occasionally down the basement. We have a smaller thing. It's like a little plastic shoebox right above the washing machine on the same level of the house as we live on that has the things we use most often. So I say, put things in a place that makes sense to you. I'm going to be pissed off if I have to walk all the way down the stairs to the basement because I'm lazy to get a hammer when I could easily have the hammer right there. Yes. So notice, your dad is saying, I imagine it's what he would need to fix stuff around here. Yes, because some people, things are important to some people, but they don't have to be important to you. Now, if he, and the thing is, ask him. Say, what is this stuff? Do I need it? What could I use this for? Have a conversation with him. Thank him for his help, but also, what is this thing anyway? I do that with my husband all the time because he collects musical gear, and I just have no idea what it is. But he lives in the house. So just get curious. Do you have things in your house that you don't know what they are or why they are there? It's your house. It's your house. Find out what they are and decide if you still want them. Now, Shannon Ford, I'm switching gears here, people. Look at me. I'm driving stick shift. I'm shifting gears. Shannon's having a really hard time decluttering photos, and I can't let go. You can if you want to, but I'm not just saying that as like a blanket statement. It is a journey. If you noticed, in the past couple of days, I've done some decluttering photos videos. I will continue to do them. It is a journey. Deciding about photos brings up feelings. So really quickly, surface clutter, pretty easy stuff. Stored clutter, coffee mugs and stuff like that. Sentimental clutter. Sentimental clutter is the stuff that you have that tells you stories. Photographs, hard copy photographs, and maybe even some digital ones can be hard to delete, but it can be done if you want to. War is over if you want it. Okay? So ask yourself, why can't I let go of them? And write down what comes up, write it down. Okay? Now I put away the photos I was using yesterday. It was so much fun going through them. It really was. Have fun going through your photos. They're going to remind you of things, okay? This photo, it's the only one I have here, so I'm hanging it up. See this? This was from, and I feel like an old person moving my glasses. This was done in December of '81. This was from a Halloween party. That is my friend Suzanne's basement playroom with the naughty pine paneling down in their split level. And that's my friend Joanne from high school, who I just got an email with. She's on our TikTok. She's on my Destination Decluttered mailing list because I helped her declutter. This is her I think we were in junior high at a Halloween party. I went through photos. I found this and I thought, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take a picture of this and I'm going to email it to her so she has a memory of that. If she wants this photo, I will happily mail it to her. But if she doesn't want it, I will probably throw it away. There will be a digital copy if somebody wants it. Okay? But notice where it becomes difficult. And let's hang out there. Things are easy up to a certain point. Everything is easy up to a certain point. Notice where you stop. Where does it no longer become easy for you? And that's why I'm here, Clutterwise. I'm going through it myself. I started running out of steam yesterday, and I had like 5 pictures of a woman who I think for years we thought was our great-great-grandmother. I am now pretty sure that actually that's her sister, but her sister's the one who saved photos, much like me. I have a connection to this Annie Bertha from 100 years ago. I also realized that there was an Elizabeth Lennon born in 1866, 100 years before this Elizabeth Lennon was born in 1966. Mind blown. Okay? Yes. So notice where you stop. And notice that some people never get to enjoy living in a decluttered home. Susan is saying, my mom and sister died at 70 and left so much hoarding to clear. Yes. Do we want to be those people? No. So let's start now. Okay? Nana Joe is getting ruthless. Throw it all out face. I've got entirely too much stuff. And the more we have, the more time it takes to take care of. Yes. So you may need to be aggressive. Be aggressive. You may just need, none of this stuff matters to me anymore. Okay? There we go. You know, we got grandmothers named Bertha and grandmothers born in the 1880s. Yeah, I really enjoyed looking at old photos. One of the things I realized about looking at old photos is many photos that my great-great-aunt saved weren't even family. They were friends, kind of like us in the real world. I'm going to do a video on it. Get curious why you save things. Sometimes you save things because they are functional. Sometimes you save things because they remind you of your life. Now, hopefully you're saving things that remind you of happy memories. I have boxes and boxes of well-organized, dated stuff in the basement that is all filled with good memories. It's not clutter and it's not hoarding. I will go through them. I am telling myself on a daily basis all the good stuff that I made happen. Those are a yearly basis. So I save memories of good times. I also tear up memories of bad times, of when I look crappy in a photo. Why keep that? Okay? So you get to decide all of this. And I'm not saying you have to, but it's in your control. A decision is something is in your control. And here's something, here's a phrase I want to share with you that is so powerful. What do I want? What do I want to happen? What do I want to eat? What do I want to wear? What do I want to speak? What do I want to share? What do I want to keep? What do I want to give away? What do I want? I have that written down here, and I think it's been hanging up there since... Oh, actually, you know what's funny? I have it written down. Friday, January 27th of 2023, I wrote down, what do I want to happen? Thursday, May 9th of 2024, I just made that better. What do I want? Write down what you want, like a shopping list, and go out shopping for it. I want a home that looks good to my eyes. I want a home that smells good. Oh, I put the candle that smells like a hotel lobby in the other room. What do I want? It may be weird to even ask yourself that question, but I ask it. I give you that question to put in your brain. Not like Severance, but ask yourself that question and just let it shuffle around. What do I want? Now, your brain may offer, I don't even know what I want. I don't know is a mulligan. I don't know is like the thing that you pop out to get it out of the way. Okay? What do I want? Now, I love this because Kara says, as an MCM collector, as am I, at almost 60, if I can't display that thing, I sell or donated it. And it's a practice. Yes. It was funny because 20 years ago, when we moved into this house, I was actively selling mid-century modern things. Within months of us moving here, the garage was full and the basement was full. And we live in a ranch house, so our basement is the footprint of the house. It's funny when people who haven't been on this decluttering journey with me say, "You help people with clutter? Have they seen your basement?" Now, I know they're being kind of judgy, but I get to laugh it off because I'm like, "Oh, you haven't seen my basement recently." 99.9% of the stuff that's in the basement, 95, is my husband's stuff, of which he has decluttered a great amount. But I have done pretty much the same thing with Kara. If I like it, I'm going to display it. I'm going to hang it. I'm going to put it away if it's a seasonal item. But if I can't find a place for it in my home, I release it, and I also don't allow it into my house. Now, I love the look of those plastic spaghetti lamps, the round ones, all colorful. I walk around my house mentally, and I've for years been like, where could we hang one? The answer is like, nah, it just won't look good in this house. So I can admire the things from a distance. When I go out, I admire things, but I don't need to own them. Yeah. Oh, same thing with me, Kara. I have stuff in the garage, but it's all for sale. It's different. Yes. So just notice, what do I want? Write it down. Write it down. Okay? I want to have my house look good. I want it to activate all my senses in the nicest of ways. I don't want there to be grit on the floor. I want it to smell good. I want it to look good. I want to be just the right temperature. I want to feel good when I walk around my house because I look at things that I love, that encourage me, that inspire me. I look around and it's so fun and happy and filled with love. I got a Nelson lamp. Yes, right there. Oh my God. Every time I look at this lamp, I peek in the room and I have a crush on it. I'm like, oh, I get to look in this room and see a Nelson lamp. It delights me to no end. It is comical sometimes to other people about how delighted I am with many of the lamps. I'm very particular about things. So when I get something I love, boy, do I love it. If I'm meh, I'm like, I don't know. It's nice, but not for me. Okay? What do I want? I want a medium-sized Nelson lamp hanging over my desk. Boom. I got it. Here we go. Right there. See that? Boom. It took me decades to get it because it cost a lot of money. Funny thing is if I had bought it earlier, it would have been so much less than it is now. But regardless, it was a big deal for me to buy something expensive for myself. Technically my brain offered, that 36-inch round rice paper globe that you got at Pier 1 back in 89 still achieves the same effect of keeping your stuff. Yeah, but you know what? It does, and I did have it for decades. But then I wanted something different. I wanted something different, and I wanted to say that I was worth spending the money on it. Other people spend money on other stuff. Why am I not spending money on myself? Ooh, that's a good question. Why do I spend money on other people and not me? Why do I spend time on other people and not as much on me? I'm just sharing the journey. Like, you guys, I'm like a bus driver here. I am on my journey, and this is what I've learned so far, and I just want to share my helpful wisdom with you because the stuff that I'm saying to you has helped me. Okay? This has helped me. This is how we share. Hey, this thing helped me. Maybe it will help you. You share what works. You throw away what doesn't. I love this. Ann Gold says, I'm so glad I stopped here. This is exactly what I need to hear as we renovate our pantry and laundry. Welcome. If we haven't met before, my name is Beth. I am a decluttering life coach. Can I tell it? I've said this once before. Thank you for shopping at Pier 1 Imports. Our store will be closing in 15 minutes. My name is Beth. I'm a decluttering life coach. I am here many days in a row for TikTok Lives, but they are different times every day. You know, now that I goofed up and was late today for the first time in over a year and a half, that I'm going to be so mindful of not making that mistake again between now and the end of next week. And then I go take some traveling. So I do these TikTok lives often. If you like this, consider liking my TikTok page. Now, knowing that TikTok could possibly go bye-bye, and also I like to give the good people stuff that they give me, is I have an email mailing list, destinationdecluttered.com/join, or just scroll down to the bottom of my website page, destinationdecluttered.com, sign up for the mailing list. Mailing list people get the schedule of my TikTok live, so those people knew I was late today. They were kind enough to say, hey, where are you? And I was like, oh my God, you're right, I got distracted. People on the mailing list were doing these declutter parties. Wicked fun. Wicked fun. Only for people on the mailing list. Mailing list people also get first access to watching the recordings of my TikTok lives. If any of that sounds of interest to you, it's free, it's low key. I try to send out as few emails as possible. Quality, not quantity. If that sounds cool to you and you're interested, destinationdecluttered.com. Go to my website, scroll down to the bottom of the page, put in your email. Boom, done. All right, Cat Roby. Cat Roby's chunk 1 is done. I love it. Oh, this is interesting. TikTok is telling me that my live will end in 5 minutes. We have detected inactivity during your current live. Complete the verification. How do they? I'm totally being active here. TikTok, you silly. Okay. And golds. I'm assuming 50% of it will need to go. I've been wanting to renovate for years. Okay, and golds. Something to think about, and for everybody. Trust me when I know what I'm talking about when I say this. Many times we think the solution to our clutter problem is more or better storage. And trust me, I am a fan of storage. But what I will say is this. Storage does not solve your clutter problem. Storage contains your clutter. So if you are cluttered, you can still have it in doors and in drawers, but it still can be cluttered. You can still have too much, okay? Just notice that, okay? There we go. Skate Life, thank you, is saying to N Golds, check her YouTube. You can declutter and listen to old lives. I've cleaned my basement listening. I love it. Okay, Abbott Elementary, label, nice to see you. Labeling, what category would be different size zippered containers? How about just containers? Zippered, I would just call them containers. How do you use them? Where do you use them? Are they travel containers? Are they kitchen containers? Where do you use them? What makes sense to you? Use the words that make sense to you. Okay? Oh, G. Schnauzer, nice to see you. Nice to see you. I will share this with you guys really quick. I love it. Yes, Callan, I did the puzzle. I was working on it. Yes, okay, cool. Yeah, no it won't. You can go as live as you want. Thank you, you guys. Again, we're all helping each other out here. I usually do my TikToks for an hour. However, I was late. I was tardy to the party today, so I'm going to do it until about 12:59. Maybe even 1 o'clock. Ooh. And then you know I'm looking at my schedule, doing other things. Okay. Oh, there we go. Wave your hands a little. Put your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care in front of the camera. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Kara says, I want 2 huge saucer bubble lamps for my cathedral ceiling. Maybe that's my garage destination. Yes. I will tell you, when I look at my purchases as something special and a reward for something that I've done, it gives it extra meaning. It can also help me do the thing that's going to get me the money. So Kara, maybe you say to yourself, I am going to sell all this stuff in the closet, in the garage, and every time I sell something, it's going to one of these lamps. Okay? So yeah, notice this. That can inspire you. That can encourage you to take the action to do the thing, is when your destination bubble lamp is out there. You know what I mean? They talk about having a carrot dangle in front of you. Maybe ours is just mid-century modern bubble lamps out front of me. Oh, I'm going to do that to get a bubble. You know? All right. So, Rocket Girl, trust me, I am a container person like nobody's business. This is why I can talk about it so authoritatively, because I have been there and I have done that. So, Rocket Girl 337 says, I've never met a jar I don't like, I can't throw away. I love using glass storage for food and soup. How do I let some of them go? How many should I hold on to? Okay. So, what I offer to you is the following. Ask yourself what you use them for. Ask yourself, do I have enough to do that with? Which ones are my favorite? Now, I admit there are certain mason jars that I like better than others. I have an easy time giving back or recycling the ones that I don't like visually. But notice when I say, are there enough? Which ones are you using? How many do you often use? Just have a conversation with yourself about this, but notice one of the big things that keeps us hanging on to stuff is the fear of not having something, the fear of lack, the fear of, well, I had it and now I don't, that fear of loss. You don't want to feel lack or loss, so you hang on to stuff. But if you keep on hanging on, set me free, why don't you, babe? If you keep on hanging on to so much, that also can create its own sucky feeling. It's much like being hungry gives you a sucky feeling, and being overstuffed gives you a stucky feeling. What we're going for with eating and eating and stuff in our homes, stuff in our external home, stuff in our internal home, is that feeling of just right, of satiety, of not feeling hungry for something. To feel like, no, I'm good. I have enough mason jars. And whatever that level of mason jars is not a fixed number. It is a feeling. Maybe you keep enough that when you can easily keep them in this one milk crate and no more. Okay? Maybe you say, I'm going to keep enough that fits on this one shelf and then no more. Okay? Everybody, give Kara good luck. She's at the dentist. Hope you feel better, hon. Okay. Yeah. But notice what decluttering is. It is asking yourself some questions and being polite enough to yourself to listen for your answers. And not judging yourself about your answers, but writing down your answers so you can figure out what's going on inside that's stopping you from doing the things that you think you want to do. Now, this is really interesting because user 1963 says, I have not done any impulse buying since August. Groceries, toiletries, clothing, decor, or wrapping. So user 1963, I am curious what goes on in your head. What have you told yourself that makes you feel like it's okay to not impulse shop? What the thoughts in your head make you feel, the words in your head make you feel a feeling in your heart or your nervous system, in your body. And then based on the words and the feelings, you do a thing with your hands. You either impulse shop or you say, no, thank you, but no. Okay? Get curious. I am telling you guys, it is as simple as paying attention to the words in your head. And not believing them immediately. Questioning them. Is that really true? Does that have to be true? What would I rather think? What would I rather feel? Because this thought makes me feel like crap. Those are just words in your head. Okay? Now notice this. I'm going to back up and I'm keeping an eye on the time like nobody's business. I love a jar too. Yeah, jars, containers. You guys, I mean, look, seriously, do you not see how many ways I have contained random items here? But they're not random because these are organized. I know what's in these things, but I like how they look. I like reusing containers versus buying things. I have a feeling we're kindred spirits in that way. I don't do any mason jar canning, but I have some mason jars that I literally trash picked off of my neighbor's thing. They're vintage, and occasionally I will put stuff in them, or I'll use them for like flowers. But I have really pared down my collection to quality, people. Think of quality, not quantity. What is the smallest viable amount of these items that I can have that makes me feel good, that's not too much and not too little, but just right? just like Goldilocks. Okay? And Gold says, I like giving stuff to people who I know are happy for it. I like that feeling too. When I believe that somebody is going to be happy for this, it makes it easier for me to let go of an item. Let me just share this with you though. Along those lines, you don't always have to know the person who gets it. That is the beauty of thrift stores, of garage sales, of tables with free stuff on them. Pretty much everything over here, for the most part, that's vintage, I don't know the people I got them from. They don't know me. But man, have they made my life better. Strangers made my life better because they said, I don't want that luggage anymore. I got it and I thought, oh boy. So even if you don't know the person who's the recipient, here's another thing. Much like What Do I Want? Here's a wonderful kind of preamble. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union. Excuse me. A wonderful beginning of a sentence. I choose to believe that, ... I choose to believe that somebody is going to find this in a thrift store and be thrilled with it. Okay? I love it. Teresa's on day 6 of No Spend 2025. Ooh, Jade, really good one. Jade is asking how to let go of travel memorabilia. I feel like physical items prove I was there. Sounds silly. Not silly at all. They call them souvenirs for a reason. I remember. What I want to offer is, oh my gosh, if you flip back to some of my TikTok lives, you will see that at a certain point in my life, I collected souvenirs. Big time. To this day, I have a collection of well over 100 tacky plastic snow domes from across the United States. They're on display in my house, but for years they were in boxes. Then I said, if I'm going to keep these, I need to display them. And I found a place that I felt looked good, and they're there. What I want to offer to you, though, is you may be in the habit of buying souvenirs. It's a habit. You can take pictures. You can have memories. I rarely buy souvenirs anymore. I like to still look at them, but I rarely buy them. But notice, how do I let go of travel memorabilia? Maybe you take a picture of it. Maybe you take a picture of those snow domes, of each one, so you have a visual reminder of that trip, but you don't need the physical object. We can do this a lot, so much easier nowadays with digital photography. But reminding yourself, having a visual reminder helps you remember things. So I'm not saying get rid of them and forget the memories. I'm saying there are other ways that you can have a visual reminder of an event without keeping an item from that event. Now, I still collect little bits and pieces, swizzle sticks, matchbooks. I do that. It's okay. You can still collect them. But notice that in order to let go of something, you need to feel a sense of safety and trust in your body. That I can let go of this and I'm going to feel okay. That I am going to let go of that, but I'm not going to forget that trip. I'm going to let go of that, and I am going to forget what it was because it reminds me of my first marriage. But notice right here, notice where my hand is going all over the place, is feeling okay with the act of letting go. And this is not like, oh, I suddenly get there and everything's easy. This is a daily thing. Some days it's easier than other days. So you're a human. You're going to feel different every day of the year, even within hours of the day. So use the energy that you have to make good decisions. And when your energy feels like it's getting low, stop and allow your tank to fill up again. Okay? And it's not silly at all, Jade. Not at all. Yeah. Rocket Girl says, I limit souvenirs to items I can use in my daily life. Yes, I have gotten very kind of like that as well. I started getting like tea towels and things, stuff like that there. You could make a collage of your trips in a cute picture frame. It is so cool. However, right now, and I'm probably going to do a TikTok video about it this afternoon, that also can make it more difficult for you or other people if you don't want that thing anymore. You can take things out of frames. You can take things out of albums. You can break apart collages. I prefer a much more digital scrapbook nowadays. Okay? Tracy says, buy Christmas ornaments so we can remember family trips but not bring home clutter. Yes, at a certain point, though, and I love that idea, but at a certain point, your tree is going to be full. Now trust me, people, I am all about buying little tchotchkes sometimes, but just notice that you have a habit. You tell the story. Every year I give my mother the Reed and Barton Silver Bell Christmas ornament. Well, I started that in 1984. I now have 18 Silver Bell Christmas ornaments in my basement that I don't want to put on my tree. So at a certain point, what you're collecting, you're going to have to deal with later. I think that's what stops me from collecting so many things now is I'm at the end of a lot of those collections to say, I started this a while back and now I'm doing this. Do I want to do that to myself when I'm 70 years old? All right, I'm going to back up here a little bit. We got about 10 minutes. Again, today I was a bit off of my schedule, but I'm forgiving myself. My name is Beth, Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach, okay? If you want to get on my mailing list, we're doing some Zoom declutter parties this weekend. How that works is you sign up, you get your ticket, half the ticket goes to the local women's homeless shelter in my town, and we show up at a certain day at a certain time. We're all on Zoom, so I work on my stuff, you work on your stuff, but we work together. Let's be independent together. Okay? I love it. German May 95, just got my desk cleared off. Got piled up over the holidays. Yeah, this post-holiday season, yeah, I still have Christmas stuff up, but we're slowly going to get things back to the way they wanted. There we go. Good stuff, people. Yes, you can take pictures of items before you let them go. Lil says, my mother-in-law, who is trying to declutter, keeps offering me things and I keep on accepting because I want to help. Yeah, what you may end up doing, though, Lils, I'll just share this with you. If you don't want that stuff, start to put it in a bag and put it away, and you can donate that after she's gone. Okay? I love it. Teresa's got 2 bags of clothes to be picked up tomorrow. Laura Given Voorhees, working through a bag of really sentimental stuff. My level 1 and 2 decluttering has been good training. Good. That's why we do it in that order. People, surface clutter, stored clutter, sentimental clutter. Asking yourself, what do I want? Why am I saving this? I love it. And I love it. Yeah, Lisa says, notice a simple change in the words in your head and in your mouth. I started saying, I curate things. That's like not collecting things. It feels more discerning. Yes, you know what it's like to go into a junk shop versus a well-curated antique store. Such a different vibe. Such a different vibe. Yeah, there we go. All sorts of good stuff here. All right? Yes, that's a great, here's a great phrase. Damn it, Donna says, I told my kids, oh, awesome. I told my kids not to buy me anything they don't want to end up with. Yeah. Okay. Vicky says, I struggle with my kids' school projects. I scanned them and made a book. Awesome. Give that book to the kids. Yeah. Mermaid Gypsy Girl says, I journal, and this last trip, I dedicated some pages of my art journaling to use to remember the trip. Yeah. So when I coach, I talk about using a book to remember my daily on the good things that I've done. I'm going to put a little goofy face in here being like late to TikTok Live. But then I also use this as my travel journal as well. So you can save the things by writing them down and creating the vision in your head. Right? Oh, excuse me. So, there we go. Okay. I love it. Brand Girl says, I challenged myself to get rid of 31 items for January. That's only a piece. That's just a piece a day. How are you doing? Yeah. How you doing? You get 6 things so far? Awesome. Yeah. Now, Nana Bean says, 640 ornaments on my Christmas tree. I counted them this year, but I love my cluttered tree. So notice, the number is arbitrary. The number is personal. I think of 640 ornaments and I get overwhelmed. Woo! But to Nana Bean, it feels just right. Yeah. I don't judge. We are different. You have 640, I have 16 ornaments, but whatever it is, should feel good to you. Now, I love this. Brand Girl says 15 things so far. So you're already you're ahead twice. Awesome, lady. Here, hold on. I just got to drop for a sec. There we go. Wanted to pick up something because I'm going to sign off in about 6 minutes or so. So hit me, I would say hit me with any questions, but I want to make sure that I give you time. So here is something. Our tree is all Hallmark. Everyone has a memory. I love it. I love using up stored gift wrap for Christmas and not spending any money. Yes. Yeah, you know what? Trust me, Erin, she is saying, I love my beautiful Pier 1 tree, but I hate putting it up and I hate taking it down. Yes, sometimes the process is something you need to go through to get the result. I hate getting on the treadmill, but man, do I like being strong. So here's the thing. How can you unhate it? How can you take the hate and turn it down? Maybe just like it as just instead of making it hateful and full of that, you just do, it's just something I do. I would suggest chunking it down. Maybe much like somebody said up there, I'm going to get rid of certain things. Maybe you say to yourself, every day this week, I'm going to take X amount of ornaments off the tree. Chunk it down while you do it. Like I have already started to move some things from different rooms, kitchen, Christmas stuff, from certain rooms into one room to collect up for Christmas. So I'm starting to chunk that down. Then I'm going to do some of the big things. So do a little bit at a time. What can you do next year so that you don't hate it? Hate is a word that I just don't want us to even use, except for when it's really necessary. In Christmas trees and Christmas decor, not so much. It's not the greatest feeling. See, this is my phrase I use instead. I do not particularly care to decorate the tree. There we go. Erin, what a great idea. Now this is where containers can make your life easier. I think I'll treat myself to an ornament organizer this year instead of individually wrapping each one. Now that's really interesting to me, Erin. I will share with you, because one of the things that stopped me from putting out some of a small tote of my Christmas ornaments this year, not ornaments, hanging ones, but like little tchotchkes, is that I opened the tote and I said, oh, I have to unwrap all of them. And then part of me is like, and then you're going to have to unwrap them again. So maybe I will examine getting something else that they're not wrapped, but they are safe, that they don't need to be, they won't get damaged. So wonderful idea. How can we make the things that you hate easier? Notice the part that that really bugs you and solve for that. And I love this. Jennifer Burgess is saying, when I clear things out for Christmas decorations, not everything goes back out after. Yeah, you can cull a few things. I love it. N Golds right here. High five, lady. High five. Well, you may not be a lady. I don't know. My husband enjoys decorating, and I used to feel guilty not doing it, but now I just let him do it. 100% what happens here. He really enjoys doing the tree. He really enjoys putting the wreath outside and doing that. I let him. I do other stuff. I do some other decorating, the stuff that I enjoy. Okay, there we go. I love it. We're doing a high five. Yeah, the ornament totes are the best. I've used them for years. Awesome. Good to know. Wonderful, people. So see, you can do something about what hates you. Here's a fun thing. User 1963. I returned gifts I impulse bought for my college kids in New Granberries and others. Now I have $800 for bills. Yes. So wonderful. See how decluttering can make you money, can save you money. You can buy something. You can change your mind. Okay? There we go. Gigi Gina says, I have 42 years of Hallmark ornaments, and the totes that lock and stack are the best. Yeah, I have some that remind me of working at Pier 1. Strangely enough, Erin, you were talking about it. The ones that the top is there and it flips and we can stack them. I love it. Beats putting each one in a box. Yeah. Notice what we do here. We make it easy for you to keep the things you like. And part of that is by just eliminating what you don't like. Okay? So this has been fun. This has been a bonus extra long TikTok live, but I got to share with you. I've been talking for well over an hour now, and my talker is kind of tired. Now I'm about to hop right into coaching and consultations this afternoon. So I offer to you, thank you so much for everybody who's concerned when I was late. Thank you for Louise, who emailed me and said, hey, is everything okay? Everything is okay. Tomorrow, I love it. Laura Gimmon Voorhees reduced the bag of sentimental by about half. I'm happy to give the bonus. I will share this with you and me. So remember, Tuesday, January 7th, 7 a.m. tomorrow. The good news is I'm used to doing a TikTok live then, so that's what I'm going to be at. I hope this helped, okay? Sign up for my mailing list if you want to. Thank you for keeping me company, and I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Bye.